Hey folks, this is Casey and I'm One Mellow Marigold. Today we are going to do a summer prune of my concord grapes. The vines are looking great this year. This spring we trimmed them down to just 2, I think maybe on this side we have 3, but just a couple of 1-year vines on each side of the trellis. We just want to concentrate on the ones that are going to give us fruit naturally, as grapes do. After a good prune, they respond with growth. So we have tons of vines coming out from the stem that we can cut back to increase airflow and get those vines producing into the berries. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to first get to work on the shoots on the stems and make quick work of that. Just pruning up those stems alone opened this area so much. It's going to allow a lot more airflow in, and that's what we like. But he's looking nice and clean. Next, I'm actually going to go under the trellis. Oh my gosh, isn't it just kind of like a wonderland? So planted here on the bottom are my black beans. Black beans are looking healthy, doing great. I overplanted because I want those bean plants to attract the pests away from the grapes. The beans are going to be super hardy. They're just going to keep growing regardless. And they're going to put nitrogen back in the soil that those grapes are going to suck right up. So I love that the beans are doing great. We're going to come under here because I think it's a little bit easier to see what we want to look at pruning next. So we're just going to go along the vines that we kept intentionally because they were 1-year growth. And we're going to look at any shoots that have fruits. We're going to try to leave those shoots alone, but we're going to look for anything that looks like it has insect damage. We're going to look for anything that looks like it's rubbing on something else or that won't make it productive. For the most part, we're not going to cut off too many shoots from this particular vine because at the moment they're pretty well spaced and it doesn't feel crowded. If you instead had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shoots all across the stem, you may then want to consider thinning out in between a couple of those shoots, again, to keep airflow going and to keep all the energy that we can going into the fruit. So let's come along. Here's this cute little shoot, and that's where the fruit is going to set. Right there, that scraggly bit that looks like the grape after you take the grape off, that's where the grapes are gonna grow. So it's good to see we've got fruit there. Coming along, we have got another set right there where fruit is gonna grow. Does look like we have got a little bit of bug damage. This could be a slug or it could be a Japanese beetle. The plant itself is still looking pretty healthy, so we're going to just sort of let it stay there for now, but we're going to keep a close eye on this area. It's another little fruit cluster, although that one doesn't look super promising. This shoot continues up here. It's another fruit cluster. It's nice and open, ready for the sun. We've got lovely green leaves. That's looking super healthy. Let's just follow her up and see if we see any more. Now, if these shoots get incredibly long, you can trim them back at the end. However, you want to make sure you at least got 14, 15 full leaves on that stem before you cut it short, because that's what the grapes need. They need those big honking leaves to photosynthesize to make their beautiful fruit. So we don't want to cut off too much. This guy I'm just going to sort of tuck up onto the top of the trellis a little bit. Let him finish growing up there out of the way. We give the slugs a ride here. These little vines can come off. Great time to pull weeds too. Okay, let's continue further down. Ooh, look at this buddy. Where does this buddy want to go? No fruit on him. Where is he coming from? Ooh, down there on the stem. Now this is the second vine we kept. So since this guy's looking healthy but doesn't have fruit, I'm going to tuck him into the trellises. Oops. Okay, whoopsies. So PSA, grapevines after a rain are really swollen and super easy to break, so you got to be gentle. So don't just go willy-nilly like I just did. Just be better than me. That first trellis, I probably did the best job taking care of. The second trellis, I did the worst job, like, taking care of it. But holy, like, fruit sets, like, stop. Stop right now. Look at this. Those are little teeny weeny baby grapes. Could you just die? Anyway, they're everywhere. They are everywhere on these vines. So there's something to be said. Look, look at this. That is where grapes are going to be. Now this is like out of control. This is just out of control. All I'm going to do here in this mess is I'm going to snip the very tips of these large clusters since they're looking so healthy. Jeez Louise, under this side as well. It's just nuts. It's gonna just, I hope the plants can sustain them. I hope we get them to production. Alrighty. They look gorgeous. Everything is nice and open. We have kept on top of everything. I love it. I have high hopes this year that we'll be making grape juice at the end of summer. I might be rather new at this, but I have audacity. And I am really hopeful we are going to have some beautiful edible concord grapes to turn into juice and jelly and all those good things later this fall. Yeah. We pulled, this is the third. So like this times 3 is what we pulled off those vines today. And they're going to love us for it. And they're going to start spurring on even more growth. And in a few weeks, it's going to look even better. Okay, real quick. It's a few weeks later. Look at the mess after that prune. And there's some interesting things going on that I just wanted to show you quick before I posted this video. Let's go. Okay, well, before we even talk about the growth and the berries and all of that, look at the leaves here on the edge. Those are signs of Japanese beetles. So I noticed that that's probably one right there. I noticed they had just started kind of massing in the black raspberries, and so I'm not surprised to see them over here as well. So as I'm messing around, I've got my dish of water and dish soap here, and so every time I see a Japanese beetle, I just pop it in the soap. There we go. I spent some time pruning and weeding. Sometime we took a lot out. There's piles all around the arbor and over there too. So here's what I think is interesting. I know I mentioned in the earlier clip from a couple weeks ago that I took the best care of this arbor and the worst care of that one. That one has the best grapes on it. This one, not so much. Now, I know that I pruned the right things because it did produce flowers. So we have either a pollination issue going on or we might have a nitrogen issue going on in this whole arbor. This whole big arbor. That's it. Those are the only 2 little grapes on this whole big arbor. That's it. That's just the 2. Just those 2. I am inclined to think it's not a pollination issue because they're right next to each other and I have a bee tree. So pollination has never been an issue for me, but you never know. I had planted all of these beans to be a feeder for the grapes, to give them nitrogen. Also, of course, to grow beans. Here's what I'm thinking though. This might be too many beans. I have a feeling that these beans are producing too much nitrogen, more nitrogen than the vines needed. And so what they're doing is pushing that abundance of nitrogen into vining and halting fruit production. That is my guess. I would love to hear from anybody who knows what they're doing, an expert in grape production, if you think that might be the case. Because now let's look over here. Wait till you see. I'm so excited. Look at underneath. Look at all of that grape production. All the way back. Let me come around. Oops. Real quick, have we talked about mugwort before? If not, don't grow it. Don't grow it. Don't plant it in the ground anyway. Maybe put it in a pot, but that's it. Mugwort is a bad renter. She never, ever leaves. I cannot tell you how many mugwort root I have pulled from this whole area, and she is just a beast. She just keeps coming back for more. No mugwort. Don't do it. Don't tempt yourself. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? Aren't they beautiful? I'm so excited. They look so healthy. But I just wanted to show you that quick update before I post this video. Tell me what you think. Do you think too much nitrogen stopped the grapes from producing on the one arbor? If so, I'm not going to do that again. Or maybe I'll like alternate the arbors where I grow the beans. I don't know. Let me know what you think though. I think it's kind of interesting. But I'm excited for grapes. Whee! Thanks so much for following along with me. I love you, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye.